Howard Schultz did not begin his life with a silver spoon. Far from it. He was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1953. His family lived in the Canarsie Bayview housing projects. These were not places of grand opportunity. They were tough. They were gritty. Life there was a daily struggle for many. Young Howard saw this struggle up close. He felt it in his bones. It was a world away from the polished coffee shops he would later build. This early world shaped him in profound ways. His father, Fred Schultz, was a truck driver. He was a blue-collar worker trying to make ends meet. One day, tragedy struck. Fred Schultz broke his hip and his ankle while working. In those days, there was no workers' compensation for men like him. There was no safety net. Suddenly, the family had no income. Howard was just 7 years old. He saw the fear in his parents' eyes. He heard the hushed, worried conversations. This experience left a deep mark on him. The family faced immense hardship. They had little money for food, for rent, for anything beyond basic survival. The feeling of poverty was a constant companion. It was the shame of not having enough. It was the cold reality of the projects. Howard would later speak of the scar tissue from these years. He saw his father, a proud man, broken by the system. He saw how vulnerable working people could be. He vowed deep down that if he ever had the chance, he would build something different for others. These early experiences were not just obstacles, they became fuel. They ignited a fire in young Howard. He wanted more than what the projects offered. He yearned for dignity, for respect, for a way out. He saw education and sports as his potential tickets. He worked hard, he pushed himself. The memory of his father's struggle and his family's poverty was a powerful motivator. It was the quiet force propelling him towards an unknown future, a future he was determined to make better than his past. Years later, Howard Schultz found himself working for a Swedish company called Hammerplast. They sold kitchen equipment. One of their customers was a small coffee bean store in Seattle. This store was called Starbucks Coffee, Tea and Spice. They were buying a lot of drip coffee makers. Howard was curious. He flew to Seattle to see this store for himself. What he found was more than just a store. He found a passion for coffee. He found a community. He found an idea that sparked something within his entrepreneurial spirit. He joined Starbucks in 1982 as Director of Retail Operations and Marketing. On a trip to Milan, Italy, he had an epiphany. He saw the Italian coffee bars. They were not just places to get coffee, they were community gathering spots. They were places for conversation, for connection. This was it. This was the vision. He wanted to bring the Italian coffeehouse experience to America. He believed people needed a third place between home and work, a place to belong. The original Starbucks owners, however, did not share his grand vision. They were coffee purists. They wanted to sell beans, not create experiences. Howard's ideas were too radical for them. They were hesitant. They were unsure. Eventually, frustrated but still believing in his dream, Howard left Starbucks in 1985. He decided to start his own coffee bar concept. He called it Il Giornale, named after the Milanese newspaper. This was a huge leap of faith. Then came the hard part, finding money. Howard needed capital to launch Il Giornale. He approached potential investors, many investors. He pitched his vision with all the passion he could muster. He told them about the Italian coffee culture, about the third place. The response was overwhelmingly negative. He was turned down 217 times, 217 rejections. Imagine the resilience that took. Each no was a blow. But Howard remembered the projects. He remembered his father. He refused to give up. He just needed one yes. Finally, after countless rejections, Howard secured the funding he needed. Il Giornale opened its doors. It was a success. It proved his concept worked. People loved the atmosphere, they loved the coffee, they loved the experience. Then, a unique opportunity arose in 1987. The original Starbucks owners decided to sell their retail stores and roasting plant. Howard knew this was his moment. With the help of new investors, he bought Starbucks. He merged Il Giornale into Starbucks and began to shape it according to his grand vision. He was finally in the driver's seat. His vision for Starbucks was always more than just coffee. It was about creating that third place, a welcoming environment where people could relax, work, or meet friends. He focused on the details, the comfortable chairs, the right music, the aroma of coffee. He also wanted to build a different kind of company for his employees. He called them partners. He remembered his father's plight. He wanted to offer benefits that were unheard of in the retail and food service industry at the time. This was a core principle. Starbucks became one of the first companies in America to offer comprehensive health benefits to all employees. This included part-time workers. He also introduced stock options called Bean Stock. This gave employees a sense of ownership. It made them true partners in the company's success. Howard believed that if you treated your employees well, they would treat your customers well. This philosophy was revolutionary. It built loyalty. It built a strong company culture. It was a way of honoring his past. With this strong foundation, Starbucks began to grow and grow and grow. New stores opened across Seattle, then across the nation, and eventually across the world. Howard was relentless in his pursuit of quality and consistency. He maintained a firm grip on the brand. He wanted every Starbucks to feel familiar, yet special. The company faced challenges, of course. There were economic downturns, there was growing competition, but the core vision, the focus on experience and on partners remained. This was the Starbucks way. Think back to that young boy in the Canarsie housing projects. Imagine him looking out at a world that seemed to offer so little. Now picture Howard Schultz, the man who built a global coffee empire. The journey between those 2 points is extraordinary. It is a testament to what one person can achieve with a clear vision and unwavering determination. He didn't just escape poverty, he redefined an industry. He created a brand that's recognized in nearly every corner of the globe. This is more than business success. The numbers are staggering. Thousands of stores, hundreds of thousands of employees, billions of dollars in revenue. But the true measure of his achievement might lie beyond the balance sheet. It lies in the culture he created. It lies in the third place he offered to millions. It lies in the benefits he provided to his partners, giving them a sense of security his own father never had. His early struggles were not forgotten. They were transformed into a guiding philosophy for his business. He built the kind of company he wished had existed for his father. His story is a powerful reminder. It tells us that where you start does not have to determine where you finish. It shows that adversity can be a powerful teacher. The rejections he faced could have broken him. The memory of poverty could have held him back. Instead, these things fueled his ambition. They sharpened his resolve. He saw possibilities where others saw only problems. He held on to his dream when almost everyone else told him it was impossible. This is the essence of his journey. So the boy from the projects did become a billionaire, but more than that, he showed the world how a business could have a soul. He demonstrated that success and social responsibility could go hand in hand. His journey from homelessness, or the brink of it in his childhood, to such incredible heights is more than inspiring. It is a blueprint for anyone who dares to dream big, work hard, and never ever give up on their vision, no matter how many doors slam in their face. That is the enduring legacy of Howard Schultz.